Together. I've been legally drunk, I think, 3 nights in a row. What the hell? That's what we're here for. And Pat, cut it out. It's going to be a short, quick, sweet program tonight. We're going to make it happen. We're going to start with the video. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's honorees right here, along with the inductees.
Before becoming a professional wrestler, Ken Patera was a highly decorated Olympic weightlifter. He won several medals at the 1971 Pan American Games, was the first American to clean and jerk over 500 pounds, and is the only American to clean and press 500 pounds. He competed in the 1972 Summer Olympics in Munich and also in the inaugural World's Strongest Man contest in 1977. Patera became the strongman in professional wrestling in 1973. Following his weightlifting career, he wrestled for the WWE, National Wrestling Alliance, and AWA during the 1970s and 1980s. While in the AWA, he twice held the Tag Team Championship and subsequently feuded with Hulk Hogan, Greg Gagne, and Jim Brunzell as an integral part of the Heenan family. He later joined forces with manager Sheik Adnan El Casey, forming a tag team with Jerry Blackwell, known as the Sheiks, and capturing the tag title once again. Patera battled some of the toughest men in the world on a nightly basis. And at the height of his career in 1980, he simultaneously held the WWE's Intercontinental Championship and the NWA Missouri Heavyweight Championship. Patera went on to wrestle for Herb Abrams, UWF, and PWA. After retiring from wrestling full-time, he continued to compete in smaller promotions across the world for a short time, then focusing the majority of his attention on a wide variety of successful business ventures. The legacy of Ken Patera is secure within wrestling history, and the CAC is proud to recognize him with the Men's Wrestling Award. After spending a year in the World Football League, Paul Orndorff began his wrestling career in 1976 mainly in the southern U.S. He honed his skills in smaller wrestling promotions in the Mid-South, where he often found himself on the opposite side of the ring with such greats as Ted DiBiase, Junkyard Dog, and Jake the Snake Roberts. After stints in Georgia Championship Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Orndorff made his way to World Wrestling Entertainment, where he teamed with Roddy Piper, who gave him the nickname Mr. Wonderful, a name that sticks to this day. They took on Hulk Hogan and Mr. T at the first WrestleMania, followed by one of the greatest steel cage matches in history as he challenged Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship on Saturday night's main event, part of a long feud that became one of the most notable in wrestling history. He was also a part of the inaugural Survivor Series. In 1990, Mr. Wonderful moved to WCW, where he would win a 16-man tournament to capture the television championship from Eric Watts, and is a two-time tag team champion with Paul Roma. After his retirement, he became a trainer for WCW's Power Plant, and is credited with shaping the careers of numerous young stars, including Stacy Keibler and Goldberg, and was part of the New Age Outlaws along with Terry Funk, Arn Anderson, and Larry Zbyszko, feuding with NWO. Paul is a member of the NWA Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2005, and in 2009 was elected to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, cementing his place in pro wrestling history. After competing in high school wrestling in the 167-pound weight class, Arn Anderson began his pro wrestling career in Florida in 1982, wrestling in various independent promotions across the country and eventually making his way to the NWA in 1984. Teaming with Ole Anderson and reforming the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Arn began establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. In 1985, Arn and Ole aligned themselves with Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair, with J.J. Dillon as their manager, and in a moment of improvisation, he labeled the stable the Four Horsemen. Whether it was as a horseman, one of the brainbusters with Tully Blanchard, For the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Arn was hugely successful in tag team competition, and as a member of the Four Horsemen was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2012. But in addition to his many accolades in team wrestling, Arn was a rarity in that he achieved great success in singles competition as well. He is a four-time NWA World Television Champion, and in 1995, in a span of 6 months, he was the first North American wrestler to score a pinfall over Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. In 2003, Pro Wrestling Illustrated named him one of the top singles wrestlers, and in 1997, he was given the PWI Stanley Weston Lifetime Achievement Award. The thumb across the throat at the end of an interview is a double-A tradition. The consummate professional, Arn gave us some of the greatest interviews in wrestling history, including some of the most memorable quotes, such as, "Adversity introduces a man to himself," and "People don't ask how you won, they ask if you won." But perhaps one of his most profound quotes was, "I don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot, toot." With everything you have accomplished to this day as both a tag team and a singles wrestler, I think we all can say, go ahead, Arn, toot that horn. Growing up in Ontario, Canada, Trish Stratus has been a fan of wrestling since childhood. She began her professional career as a fitness model, and in 1999 she caught the attention of the WWE, who signed her to a multi-year contract and sent her to Sully's Gym, where she was trained by Ron Hutchinson. Later, she joined the WWE as a manager, but her calling was in competition. From 2000 to 2006, Trish feuded with the top names in the WWE, both men and women. It didn't matter if it was a tag team or in a singles match, she was tough as anyone, even winning the Hardcore Championship on one occasion. Whether it was against Jazz, Mickie James, Ivory, Gail Kim, or Lita, she had a rare talent that helped her to capture the WWE Women's Championship a record 7 times, and to be named Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Woman of the Year on 4 occasions. Since she retired from the ring in 2006, Trish has been just as busy as when she was an active ring participant. She has appeared on a number of magazine covers and has hosted several award and television shows, including Stratosphere, which debuted in 2008 on the Travel and Escape television channel. The show follows Stratus as she visits different locations around the world to participate in local sports and adventures. And in 2011, she starred in the Canadian independent movie Veil Enforcers, playing a bounty hunter named Jules Taylor. Stratus has also been involved with numerous charities such as Ronald McDonald House, Dreams Take Flight, and the Special Olympics. In 2008, she participated in the Island Triathlon Series as part of a celebrity relay team to help raise money for Dignitas International. Somehow, even with all of this, she found time to open a yoga studio called Stratosphere, winning Top Choice Awards Best Yoga Studio, and along the way was named Businesswoman of the Year. Trish is a member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2013, where she became the youngest inductee in WWE history. Tonight, we welcome her to the Ring of Friendship as she becomes the first female Iron Mike Award winner in CAC history.
Up and running. The first daughter of the evening is going to recognize Mr. James Beard with the very first ever CAC Charlie Smith Referees Award. And I'd like to present that award here in a bit. Bring up Mr. Beard, if you will, and please welcome wrestling superstar and WWE announcer John Bradshaw Lakefield. Bring Charlie with you.
Charlie, where are you?
Mr. Charlie Smith, who the award is named after.
I'm James Beard. He's a pretty smart guy. He wrote a book too. You ought to buy it.
Thank you. I want to first give a plug, if you would please, to the WWE Network. And the reason is Bobby the Brain Heenan is here, and you have the great Lance Russell, play-by-play guy, going into the Hall of Fame, very well deserved, one of the greatest voices of all time. But for those of you that have the network, Jerry Lawler may be in that realm. I'm not. Please don't watch anything Bobby the Brain Heenan does. You will realize my only claim to fame is I'm better than Byron, which it's like being a college midget, but I'm going to take it right now. About 21 years ago, Larry Hennon minced some guys with cauliflower ears. A guy with cauliflower ears pulled me into a shower. I was worried it would be like Coach Sandusky in the Penn State. There wasn't really anything I could have done about it if it would have been. It was Jerry Briscoe, and he offered me a job, and I'm very grateful for that. I want to tell you, as a kid who grew up, that my youngest memory is with my grandfather saying that I wanted to be a wrestler. This is like a big fat kid in a pizza buffet. I'm in heaven right now with all these legends here. This is truly an honor. I've been blessed with a career that's spanned about a quarter of a century, and I've gotten to induct a couple of my very best friends into the Hall of Fame, the Briscoe brothers, but of course also a couple weeks ago my dear friend, Godfather, one of my very best friends, along with Ron Simmons as well. And I realize the responsibility that when you induct somebody into the Hall of Fame, it's not just an honor of being a friend, but it's also trying to tell about their legacy, because they have a Hall of Fame career. And this person certainly does. I can tell you unequivocally, without a doubt in my mind at least, I've been very blessed to work with most of the best in the business in the last 25 years. James Beard is the best referee I have ever been in the ring with. And from the time I started in wrestling at Sportatorium, when James was the one that opened the door for me and helped give me a job with Skandar Akbar, I got to work with some of my heroes. I got to work hundreds of matches with Undertaker, with Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, the guys of the Attitude Era, most of the great stars. Like I say, I would not only put James Beard as one of the top referee, the top referee, I'd put him as one of the top stars in that same category with those guys I mentioned. Because when you try to explain to somebody that's not in the business about what a referee does, it's like explaining the color blue to a blind person. There's just no relative point. But for those of us that have had thousands and thousands of matches, you know how important it is. And James was the few referees that I've seen could actually call a match for both guys in the ring. He had a feel for this business. We started together. James opened the door and helped give me a job. He booked me in Japan the first time. We traveled all 4 islands there, from Hokkaido down to Kumamoto and Shikoku and Honshu. We traveled all over the South. We put up posters. We put up the rings. We booked talent. I learned the business from the ground up. If James's accolades alone, which are many, would get him in the Hall of Fame, but what he did for talent, and I'm just one of many, that is to me the true Hall of Fame characteristics of James Beard, because what he did was the time-honored tradition of the veteran taking the greenhorn and showing him the ropes. And that's what James did for me over thousands and thousands of miles. We talked about the business because we love the business. I met James today at 4 o'clock. I hadn't seen him in years, so we talk all the time on social media and by text. We want to talk about the business because that's what we love. And that to me is James Beard. And to me, there's never been a person better that has stepped in the ring as a referee. And it's my honor to induct in the 2016 Cauliflower Hour Hall of Fame, Cauliflower Alley Club, Hall of Fame, my dear friend, and to me the best referee to ever step in a ring, James Beard.
they don't let referees talk too much, so, you know, I got a guy that could talk for me. That's the best thing you can do if you're smart. You know, when I heard that they were gonna develop an award for referees, I was really happy to hear that. Not necessarily because of myself, because at that time I didn't know I'd be considered for it, but, you know, it's something that's really overlooked a lot of times. A lot of people don't, especially fans, don't understand what the role of the referee is and what he does, and for the most part, they're unappreciated and generally overlooked and don't get a lot of recognition. And you know, the fact that the Cauliflower Alley has seen fit to establish an award like this is special to me, and the fact that they've named it after a guy like Charlie Smith, who's was not only a great referee, but is one of our greatest ambassadors and a guy everyone loves and likes and respects. You know, I'm incredibly honored to have my name and my career associated with Charlie's and this award. And being the first to be named for this award is very humbling, especially considering all the guys that have done this job and worked in this role, and some of them even here in this room, you know, that I respect a lot. You know, Kevin, Mickey, so many of you guys out there, you know what I think about you. And it's something that you know, all you guys that I worked in the ring with and understand how to use a referee and work with a referee and help him do the things that you want him to do and tell your story and get over what you want to get over and walk out of the ring knowing you make the fans feel something and feel exactly what you want them to feel. That's a great feeling. And my first thank you is to all of you that I've had the honor to do that with. And I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. You know, I have to think about the guys that I learned from, that my teachers and the guys that supported me and gave me the opportunity to do that job the way that I knew, or at least the way I felt like it should be done. Goes all the way back to Johnny Valentine, Grizzly Smith, Skandar Akbar, Red Bastine, Gary Hart, Eddie Gilbert, so many of those guys that are gone now that meant a lot to my career and gave me the opportunities to do the things I did, and you know, the guys like John Mantell over there that my good friend who I worked under as a booker there, and now the president of the Hall of Fame, Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's assured me that referees will be a part of that from now on. And also have to think, remember my good friend Kazuo Sakurada, Kendo Nagasaki, who gave me the opportunities to work in Japan that really opened a lot of doors for me and gave me a lot of opportunities inside and outside the ring. And my NWA family over there. We're still working at it. Bruce Stark has given me a lot of faith in trying to reestablish that brand in an honorable way. And all of you guys, Matt, Rob, Greg, all you guys that I work with on a regular basis, you mean a lot to my family. And you know, we're still kind of baking the cake. But thanks to all of you, and thanks to the Cauliflower Alley Club, I've got a pretty good start on the icing. Thank you very much.